Hello, my name is Sharmazanashvili. I'm doctor, professor in information technology. And today I would like to talk with you about the metaverse as a post-COVID technological innovation. We are all somehow the victims of the COVID pandemic, and we are all looking for where this pandemic will be over and life will come back to the normal. Uh, I would like to say from the beginning that the life will not come back to the normal as it was before the pandemic in 2019. The COVID pandemic taught us to stay at home and do our work remotely in the digital world. And it's happened that many people don't want to come back to the normal life, in-person life. I would like to give you some example what the COVID pandemic did to the largest scientific organization, CERN, the European Organization for the Nuclear Research, which is based in Geneva, Switzerland. I'm working here, and I would like to tell you that this is unique scientific body and unique collaboration of thousands of the scientists. Scientific discussion took place here everywhere in the offices, in the meeting rooms, in the green grasses, and the restaurant area during the lunch, and also every day hundreds of people visiting CERN were visiting CERN and leaving the CERN, so it was very high rate of the rotation at CERN. And once the pandemic starts, the CERN was closed, and it was very big disaster because we move remotely in the remote work, and thanks a lot for the remote technology developers. They save our professional activity, but we lose in-person discussion, which is very, very important for scientific life. But once the pandemic was over and CERN reopened the doors, it happens the another disaster that the people never come back and they stay offline. It's still mystery for me, and also CERN authorities also worry about it. We don't understand why people prefer to stay at home. So nothing is new in this case study. I just only give you example which is common to all of us, and we know about this. There are some post-COVID prediction. You see the numbers on my slide. 60% of business travels will be halted. This is prediction, and 30% of in-person work will be pulled out. At the end of the last year, the Microsoft announced that 150,000 of their workers will stay at home. They let them to stay at home and continue their professional activity remotely from home. This is also a very notable case study. So where it's going? It's going to the new remote uh, era, new remote technology, which is the metaverse. What is the metaverse? In popular words, the metaverse is the combination of the multiple technologies. These are the virtual reality technology, augmented reality, and video technology. So this is the combination of those. And in this digital universe, people can work and present it by its own digital avatars. And avatars are the members of the metaverse society. And through the avatars, the people also become the member of this universe. And people can transform all kinds of activity into the metaverse. I mean, the social activity, professional activity, scientific activity, sport and cultural activity, everything in ideal case could be transferred into this digital universe. From technology point of view, metaverse is foresee the continuous connectivity to the three-dimensional virtual scene through the special equipments and hardware and software platforms and through the high-speed internet. So many people consider the metaverse as the future of the internet. In the metaverse, it will be possible also to have so-called the hybrid scenes as well. Hybrid scenes is the combination of the real scene with the virtual scene. As we see here in the video, there is a meeting in the real environment. The environment is real, and the lady is real, but the guy on the right side is unreal. So, I mean, he is not presented physically there. It's just only digital avatar of someone who is physically presented and stay somewhere in the different geographical area. And this is the example of so-called the hybrid scene. I bring you some example of the metaverse scene. And here we see the guys are playing the chess. And this is the real scene. The guy is real who's playing the chess. The chair is real. The table is real, but the opponent is not real. So this is digital avatar who is presenting in this scene, and in reality, this guy is presenting somewhere outside. And the desk are also unreal, but it's no obstacles. The guys playing the chess, and they looks like very happy. So this is the hybrid scene, and now about the virtual scene, we see the sportsman guy who is equipped with the 3D headsets, and he holds in his hands the manipulators. And through those manipulator and headsets, the guy feels himself in the virtual, unreal, digital scene. And there is in opposite side, there is his opponent. He's also equipped with his headsets and manipulators, and those two guys are meeting each other and playing the table tennis. And this is 100% real table tennis. We can feel here so sensitive field things of this great sportive game, like the ball rotation and the changing the directions. So it's a real experience playing the table tennis. And another example about the hybrid scene as well, we see here the meeting where we have the two real person and one avatar, and this is avatar of lady, and lady itself is somewhere outside. And another scene where we have the two real persons and two avatars discussing together. And through this technology, it's possible to schedule the examination with doctor. If we put the special gloves on our hand, then the doctor will be able to examine our hand remotely through this technology. So as we see, these technologies, those technologies are quite good developed, and this is not new. It's more than 10 years they are developing. But from where it's starting, and let's go back a little bit to the history. The first time the word, the term of metaverse was presented by Neil Stephenson. He's presented here on my slide in 1992 in his famous novel Snow Crash. This is the story about the two teenagers who they have their digital avatars, and they're entering this virtual world, and very soon they have a lot of followers, and the full society finally goes to the virtual universe, and it's happened that the economic will collapse and the federal government will lose their power. That's the right very good predictions of the Neil Stephenson from 1992. And since there, this virtual technology was developed quite well. And the famous project Second Life in 2003, and the different virtual reality equipments and technologies were developing more than 10 years. Some example of those developments. First of all, let's talk about the Oculus Rift headset, which is not new. It's very popular right now, but it's not new. About 5 years, it's already on the market. And we already see that the guys feel very comfortable to play the table tennis. And here is another guy staying in his room, and he feels himself in completely different environment. And in this environment, his make his boxing and physical work, movement. And at the end, he said that that was the most real and exciting his boxing experience. But have a look to the prices. And the Oculus headset price is starting from the $600 up to $800. Another also the famous technologies from Microsoft. This is the Microsoft Hololens. Here we have the different concept. We don't have the headsets, we have the glasses. And through the glasses, we feel ourselves in a real scene, in a real environment. But in addition, we have some holographic objects in the real scenes. And this is the various objects. For example, it should be menus, it should be even the keyboard, and we can type the text on those Unreal keyboard. We see the two engineers are discussing the engineering solution. They would like to find out how to trace the services in this construction, and they are measuring all the distances. They are making the engineering solutions there. So it's really very useful. Technology, what is bad here? The bad is prices, because it's quite expensive. The base cost the HoloLens is the $3,500, and it's raised up to the $5,000. And also, I forgot to say that HoloLens and Oculus requires quite powerful computer and notebooks. Okay. The next one I would like to represent you is the Haptic Gloves, and this is more than 10 years it's developing this technology, so we can put our hand in the gloves, and we can feel our hand inside of the virtual scene where we have the objects, and I can play with those objects. I can feel their weight as well, depending on the materials. And I can match with other guy who is also equipped with the same gloves, and we can shake the hands there. And I have the sensors, and through those sensors, I'm able to just feel the shape of the geometry, spheres or prisms or etc. But unfortunately, I cannot feel the surface and the texture of the surface. It should be an upcoming development for this technology. And also have a look, it's quite massive. And from the gloves, I have quite massive cables. This is data cable and also power supply cables, and it's not good. And I'm not sure that the ladies will be happy to have these gloves, because they are quite massive. So another thing, development, this is so-called smart clothing. It's very also exciting development. This is the ordinary texture, which is equipped with the number of the biological sensors, and through those sensors, the t-shirts, which can be made from this textile, will become the electrical units. So if we put this t-shirt on our body, then the t-shirt will be able to measure the different parameters of our body, like the temperature, like the blood pressure. We can monitor the state of our body, having the connectivity with the computers. And you see here the guy intensify his physical work, and we see how it's affecting on the monitors, because all those signals are measuring from these smart clothes. The leader of the smart cloth development nowadays is MIT, and they have very strong development in this direction. We all know about the 3D printing. This is technology which give us opportunity to print very precisely very, very thin things. And Chinese, for example, use 3D printing to produce the pattern, the grid pattern, which has the special feature. If we put this pattern on our body and move our body, then this pattern generates the electrical power grabbed from our body, and it can be used as an alternative power supply source for the equipments I already discussed. And this field is also very, very challenging, and there is a consortium from UK, from Germany and Portugal, and the researchers are working together with lithium-ion batteries, which are very, very well developed, but it is not enough for power supply. This consortium make research and development to find the alternative sources of electrical energy, which could be generated from our body. So it's also very, very challenging. So as we see, this technology is not new. It's developing more than 10 years. And now come back to the metaverse. Why the metaverse become right now so actual, and why we are talking a lot about this technology? The thing is that this technology and development, rapid development of the virtual and mixed reality technology tackled by the COVID pandemic. And what is the connectivity? Just only two main factors which connect the metaverse with the COVID pandemic. The first one is the COVID pandemic bring the necessity for the rapid development of the remote technologies, and it brings the necessity to appear more developed remote technology, like nowadays is the virtual and augmented reality technology, and this is the metaverse. Metaverse is the next generation of all those technology. The second factor is that the COVID pandemic taught us to stay at home and to organize all our work and all our activity from home. No other factor than the COVID pandemic would be able to do that. It's just only COVID pandemic did it, and just only COVID pandemic provoked development of the metaverse. In this case, for me, for example, I consider the metaverse not the IT technological innovation. I consider it more the COVID pandemic technological innovation. Now, about the challenges of the metaverse. What is the challenges nowadays? The main challenge of the metaverse is the accessibility to the wide society. The metaverse should become accessible, easy accessible, cheap for the wide society. Otherwise, this project will be unsuccessful. And how it become widely accessible? Nowadays, it's very expensive technology. As I emphasize, the prices of the Oculus, Hololens, etc., the gloves, T-shirts, and etc. These are very, very expensive units, and it should be cut down. The price should be cut down, and then might be it will be possible for the wide society. I would like to give you example of the smartphone evolution. 10 years ago, the smartphone was not widely accessible, and nowadays it is. Nowadays, smartphones are very, very strong and much more developed units than it was 10 years ago. We have 5G connectivity, we have 12 million pixel multiple cameras, and we have multiple core processors and huge amount of the random access memory and gigabytes of the hard disk and long life batteries. And it's about twice cheaper. And why it's happened? What caused it? Where is the reason why it's happened? And the reason is here. This is the technology. This is the new technology which was developed during those 10 years, which cut down the prices of the smartphone, raise the functionality, their parameters, and make therefore widely accessible the smartphones. So this is the new technology should be developed, and those new technologies should be developed based on the state-of-the-art research, scientific research. So this is the connectivity, and this is the area, the field where the companies nowadays make their investment. We know that the former Facebook did a huge investment in the development of the metaverse. The Microsoft and the other giant IT companies do their investment, and they invest in what? They invest in the research development activity. So scientific, state-of-the-art scientific research should bring the new technologies, and the new technologies itself will decrease the prices of the metaverse, become it's more widely accessible. And that's what's happened with the smartphone, and the same should happen to the metaverse. Otherwise, the metaverse will not be a successful project. Now, I'd like to give you some trends of the research development activity of the metaverse. First of all, this is development of so-called the fast geometry. This is the geometry modeling method, which will bring the balance between the performance and the quality of the 3D scene. You know, performance and the quality of the scene are fighting with each other. Those two parameters don't like each other. It means that, for example, if I have the good quality of the 3D scene and I like it in my headsets, then might be I will lose performance. What does it mean? It means that if I try to play table tennis, I will feel suddenly that the system not follow fast, and it's slow in response, and I can play the table tennis in such kind of metaverse. But if I would like to raise the performance and raise the system response, then I have to decrease a little bit the quality of the 3D scene. And here it is the question, how to find the balance. So I'm very capricious user. I would like to have good quality, and I have to, I want to see that the system is follow me, so it's quite fast. And the balance should be found through the new geometry modeling methods. Why? Because the metaverse scene consists with the geometry description of the objects, and it's very, very important to have the right methods for geometry modeling, which will ensure finding the balance between the performance and the quality. Second trend is development, so-called the visualization engines. Engines are not units. This is the set of the computer programs library of the program, and this set of programs ensure the computer graphics inside of the metaverse scene. And those programs should be compatible to the wide range of the platforms. And I would like to emphasize the cheap platforms. It should not require the expensive and powerful computers and notebooks. Otherwise, it will not be widely usable. And also, it should be compatible to the different hardware platforms and software platforms. Never need the installation and downloading something and installing something on my units. And might be the web technologies and the browser technologies are the good solution in this direction. And the third one is development of machine learning algorithms for data processing, because inside of the metaverse scene there are a lot of calculations which are carried out inside, and we need very well developed machine learning algorithms here. And also we need the special decision making algorithms for the stochastic scenes. These are the scenes where unpredictable things can be happen, and unpredictable, not determined situation will be appear inside of the scenes. This I call the stochastic scenes, and in those cases we need very good, well-developed decision-making algorithms. For sure, those three research development trends never includes the research development activity for the hardware. All those units we already see in my presentation needs also future development and new technologies in order to cut down the price and to make them more widely accessible. Okay, at the end, as a backup, I would like to give you example of the application which works inside of the browser. This is augmented reality application, which can be activated in your browsers. Just try this link, and the application will be activated immediately. You never need to install something or download something. You have to activate just camera, and once it's happened, then you can put on your table the Atlas detector. Let me hide you what is the Atlas detector. This is the huge scientific facility, but you can put that facility on your table, and through the mobile phone you can go inside and learn the structure and anatomy of the Atlas detector. Also, you have the touch control through the finger. You can zoom in, zoom out, or move the object, so you can testify what is the level of the development of the browser technologies, the geometry modeling methods, and web-based engines, what the possibility they give us to develop the metaverse scenes. Here we are right now, today. And that was my last slide. I would like to thank you for your attention. I'll be glad to have your questions or comments on my email, longest email address. Send me, please, and we can continue this discussion. Let me tell you, there's some clever experts making the prediction that the metaverse will come in our everyday life after 2 or 3 years. So in this case, I would like to tell you goodbye. See you after 2 years in the metaverse. Bye-bye.